Hi everybody. I don't think this necklace matched my outfit right now, but I don't care. I just got out of an interview of an enterprise which I loved. I loved meeting them, and I went there. I met the place. I did a little bit of work there next year, and this year they were like opening positions, and I was like, hey please, and they said like, I just got out of it, no time to lose, huh? And then they said, oh, we already know you. And I was like, yeah, you already know me. So I hope that's an advantage for me. But anyways, I'm excited, but I have goals, and I want to talk about language acquisition in this video. You ready? You ready? Okay, I have a quiz for you. Can you explain? Pause this video if you need to think. Can you explain what's the difference between acquiring a language and learning a language? Time passing by. Well, I speak Portuguese, English, and French at the moment, and for this year I want to learn Italian and Chinese. Okay, I'm gonna give myself this challenge because the market, you know, Chinese is the new English. And I was thinking a lot about like, okay, so what's the best method and blah blah blah, and I'm gonna share with you the best method. If you want to say you're fluent in a language, you must comprehend, so listen, and you must read, input. You must be able to read. You have to output the language, so you have to speak correctly, or at least understandably to another person, and write. These two are outputs. Alright, so what's this difference between acquiring and learning a language? If you live in this planet just like me, you know that the best way to become fluent in a language is to live in the country that speaks the language that you want to learn, your target language. So if I want to speak French, I should go to France or Quebec, or there's, I don't know, oh my god, so colonized. I don't know a country that speaks French in the Africa continent. I know Swiss speaks French, Belgique speaks French as well, but ils parlent 90 instead of 70. Pays que parlent français en Afrique, le continent africain. Nombreux pays ont Sénégal, Côte d'Ivoire, Mali, Niger. Ah, Morocco aussi parle. Madagascar? I didn't know. Guinée, Bénin, Togo, Cameroun. Oui, Cameroun, bien sûr. Congo, Centrafrique, Gabon, il y a beaucoup de pays qui parlent français. Oui. Mais je sais que ce n'est pas le français de la France. Il y a de différents linguistiques. Ils ont des accents, ils ont de propres... I'm sorry. Ils ont... Yeah. They have their own words for their cultural and for their lives as well. But even in the France, they have different accents, right? What I was talking about is that we don't have to go to a place that speaks the language anymore because of technology. Okay, we can create an immersion for ourselves, and we can acquire a language at home, for example, and we can master these 4 pillars by ourselves because we have resources, right, online. And if you are watching me, you have internet, and there are so many free resources online to learn French. I'm gonna share with you in another video everything that I use, but in this video let's focus on acquisition and to explain that we don't need to go to a place to learn that language. And yeah, if I could, I would. No, I'm not gonna lie, but I can't because I have work to do, and I have bills to pay, and I have my college and blah blah blah. Well, I still want to learn languages, and how does a baby acquire a language? Let's think of a baby right now, just so I can explain a little bit easier, because I know we are all grown-ups here, but a baby is surrounded by people, right? And people talking to him all the time, and a lot of words, a lot of billboards. So it is bombarded with the language of the country. So a baby does not learn grammar, okay? It repeats what his mom and his dad says, his or her. It says what they say. The baby repeats what they say, and whatever is around them, the tutor, their sister, brothers. So they are acquiring that language, all right? And that's the main difference of acquiring and learning. You learn, you just step with the grammar and the rules, and you want to speak correctly. But a baby is not worried about speaking correctly. It wants to communicate. That's what language is for, communication, human connection. And we need to forge this environment for ourselves as if we were a baby. So in my attempts to learn English and French and now Italian, what I do is to create this baby environment where I surround myself with the sounds, with movies, with music, with books. Even though I don't understand anything, I force myself to be in contact with the other language by entertainment, not by books and rules, but by fun. And different from a baby, I know already how to read, so I know topics that I already like. And I know that I like, for example, that I'm a chemist, I like cosmetics. So I can watch videos of regulamentations on French and now Italian. It's going to rain. So I'm creating this environment for myself before studying grammar. A kid, before going to school to learn the syllabus, the A plus B makes up and B plus A makes ba, it learns small words, it learns colors, it learns numbers, days of the weeks, seasons, things like rain, water, fire, simple things. And it keeps repeating it, and it keeps playing with it, and it makes it joyful. And that's how I did with French. I made it fun. I made it something that I was listening a lot and then trying to repeat and sing the songs. I love to sing. That's how I learned French in English. I loved singing, and then I was singing, even though I sang wrong some words. Later on my life, when I was able to learn the new words with the grammar, I already knew that word because I was singing it, so I was always making my brain available to the learning things. I was creating a good environment to learn the grammar and the rules instead of just going to grammar and the rules. I was making the acquisition my first step towards the fluency before learning the rules. That's how you should do as well. So a baby, before knowing how to read, it learns how to speak. Before learning how to write, it learns how to read. That's the normal thing of our brains. So one thing you should do is you have access to internet, right? So first, change the language settings, right, of your cell phones, of your computer, whatever, like what you already are so used to. Where is the turn off button, to configuration, the settings, and all of these things that you're already so comfortable with. Watching a TV series that you've already watched, rewatch it in another language. Why not? Why not watch Ratatouille in French, or watch Lion King in Italian, or Nemo in Russian if you're learning Russian, or Chinese, Mandarin. Like, enjoy the small things in life that you already do and you're already so used to in the new language. It's fun. Make it fun. And that's something very important. Make yourself acquire the language. make yourself comfortable listening to it, so you can be able to repeat and mimic. We are mimic creatures, just like we learned our mother tongue in our culture. If you create this immersion environment where you're always listening, you're always, for example, one thing that I love to do is write. I have a notebook. Every day I've searched for an article and I write it down, the whole article. I write the whole article, and I had like full pages of the article, and I was writing it out. I didn't translate anything. I wasn't focused on understanding it as well. I was focusing on making myself comfortable with the language. Just like a baby is not aware of the words it's speaking, it's training its mouth to speak. Alright, so yeah. Le vélo dans la ville. C'est un texte qui parle de vélo en Paris. Surtout ce Paris, ça nous permet peut-être certainement de se déplacer de la meilleure manière. Donc I write everything down, right? Everything, every day, one article. Am I perfect in French? I ain't. I'm not. Okay? But I can communicate myself. And I have this space of perfectioning it throughout time because I'm every day studying it, acquiring it, creating this immersion aspect for my life, this immersion environment, and which is very helpful. And this year I will focus on doing the DELF, which is the diplôme de fluence en français. Je ne sais pas qu'est-ce que l'abréviation signifie. Ouais, c'est bon. Et après ça, j'ai déjà fait de épreuves en français, tous les examens de anglais, mais je veux faire 9 mois. Depuis 2014 que je fais des épreuves d'anglais, mais après 12 ans, ils sont expliqués. Donc je dois faire 9 mois toutes les années, à chaque 2 ans, et je veux faire ça. Et je veux faire le DELF. Parce que je veux faire un master. Mais I hope that you understood the main message of this video, which is create a space for acquiring a language instead of focusing on grammar, instead of focusing on, I have to speak perfectly. Focus on speaking first. Focus on expressing yourself first, okay? And for that, write a little bit every day what you want, what you already have as vocabulary. I'm going to share all the resources I have available for French for free for you guys in my next video. And that's it. I'm gonna leave you with a very good small explanation of what is acquisition of language, and I hope you enjoy. Bisous, et après, une autre fois, après longtemps, après, à bientôt. Au revoir. Arrivederci.
Anyway, we all acquire language the same, and rather than just talk about it, I'd like to show you. I'd like to take just a couple of minutes and give you some sample language lessons. I'll use a language that I'm sure you've heard before and maybe some of you speak, and you can tell me which of these two very brief lessons you like better. Here's lesson number 1. Wir werden jetzt anfangen, Deutsch zu lernen. Und ich möchte im Voraus sagen, dass nach meiner Meinung Deutsch ist eine sehr schöne Sprache. Und ich hoffe, dass Sie alle sehr viel Erfolg mit Deutsch haben werden. What do you think? Good lesson so far? Do you think if I kept talking to you like that, you'd pick up German? Not very likely. How about if I repeated it? Would that help? Probably not. How about if I said it louder? Would that help? Probably not. How about if I said it and you repeated it back? Again, I don't think that would help. How about if I wrote it out for you and you could see it on your television screen? That wouldn't help either. How about if I wrote it out for you and you copied it down? How about if I wrote it out for you and deleted every 5th word and you tried to guess what the word is? The truth is that none of these things help. None of these things mean anything, and I hope you can see that now. Here's lesson number 2. And for this, you have to watch me carefully. Das ist meine Hand. Verstehen Sie das? Hand? Everyone say, ja, I can hear you, even though it's a TV audience. Good. Kopf. Das ist mein Kopf. Verstehen Sie Kopf? Ja? Gut. Kopf. And here I'll draw a picture now. Kopf. Ist gut, ja? Schön. Kopf. Das ist Mr. Spock, ja? Mr. Spock hat 2 Ohren. Ohren. Verstehen Sie Ohren? Er hat 2 Ohren. Okay, Mr. Spock. Ja? Ach, nein. Entschuldigung. Okay. Augen. Verstehen Sie Augen? Augen. Wie viele Augen? 1, 2, 3 Augen. 3 Augen. Ist das richtig? 3 Augen? Nein. Wir haben nur 2 Augen. Mund. Verstehen Sie Mund? Und hier ist eine Zigarette, ja? Nein. Zigaretten sind nicht gut. If you understood lesson number 2, not every word, but more or less, I did everything necessary to teach you German. And now I'm going to share with you the most important thing I have learned about language.